Okay, the watch list for, wow, November already, guys. November 1st, which is going to be Tuesday. SPY, the market, the SPY, whatever you want to call it, seems to just really, in my opinion, just be on hold. I've said in the last few videos it feels heavy. Not a lot of stuff following through to the upside. I would love to tell you which way the market's going to go, depending on who wins the election. Next Wednesday when it's known. But I don't know, and I don't even care. You remember Brexit? Everyone thought the market was going to tank. Brexit was probably somewhere back in here, and you saw what happened. So there'll probably be an immediate reaction, no matter which candidate wins. I can't, for the life of me, imagine which way it's going to go. But hopefully back to normal. Market hates uncertainty, and I mean, probably the biggest election of our lifetimes. Is looming, right? 1 week away, and so it doesn't get much more uncertain than that. So I think we're just in a chop session until then. So having said that, I'm kind of shying away from the low price, low float stocks because they're not working right now. But what is working is intraday reversals and that sort of thing. Watching the scanners, news plays, that sort of thing. So there's stuff to trade, but the lower price ones, which is really it's my bread and butter, is how I make my living. I'm having to lower my daily profit goal because I'm not trading those right now because they're not setting up. All right, so let's go into the watch list. I've got several bounce plays on watch. All right, which just means I'm looking for a certain thing to happen tomorrow on an intraday basis before I'll take a trade in any of these. But I'm looking for an intraday bounce, suffice it to say. So Electronic Arts, EA, video game maker. Down a couple days in a row here on a little extra volume. It's kind of in no man's land on the chart. This one looked better. I put this on the list actually when this was a solid red candle. Then it kind of bounced this afternoon here up. Well, it didn't bounce. Yeah, it bounced up over $1 this afternoon. So kind of took some of the wind out of the sails of a potential bounce play, but still goes on bounce watch. Lumber Liquidators is sort of a different kind of bounce play. It's one that got decimated in one day, but this candle is maybe overdone. I was really, really hoping for a push through 15 to the downside because you had the 200-day there. Plus, it was super extended to the downside. I was hoping for an afternoon trade. I was going to get in big in the 1480s if it got there because it was so extended to the downside, and you had the whole number flush and the 200-day right there. Had a nice bounce off the 200-day last time. So. But it didn't get there. So today, starting Tuesday, goes on bounce watch. Maybe what I'd like to see a flush below 15, touch of the 200-day, and then look for maybe a candlestick set up to the long side. But that we have no idea if that's going to happen or not. But that's one thing I'd like to see in that one. GNC, no trades in it today. It just goes back on bounce watch, right? Gap down, another red day, and then today another red day, but kind of a narrow range. That goes on bounce watch. TWER, I don't know, 4 red days in a row after a nice volume pop. Pretty much a round trip. So I don't love it, but it's sort of my one low price stock I'm going to watch tomorrow for a potential bounce. TSLA, Tesla, another red day. No trades in it today. Just looking for a potential bounce tomorrow. NTNX, same thing. Once it's got to new all-time lows after this crazy move after it went public, a lot of times you get a bounce down here once it takes out the IPO day lows after a huge pop. It's taken a long time to get down here. Pretty good candidate for a potential bounce. OPTT. Now this, I'm not, again, pretty ugly chart, but it's made huge moves in the past, and now you've got 4 days down in a row, almost to where all of this started. All this huge move started, almost a complete retrace. But with 4 days down in a row, and today's range was 285 down to 228, that's actually a pretty big move to the downside. Again, I'd like to see like a flush below the whole number 2 and then start looking for a turn back up. But, what I want and what's going to happen are two different things. We'll see, right? But I think that's worth watching. Remember, I'm a day trader. When you're watching these videos, know that I'm not calling any of these for an investment. I'm looking to get in and out in the same day. I'm in cash every night, okay? So I try to find stocks that can give me a nice percentage gain tomorrow on an intraday basis with a proper setup, right? Under Armour, nice bounce today. It did meet our parameters for a long, but I did not see it happen, so I didn't get in it, didn't call it. But now you've got maybe a potential double bottom from here to here. and a nice green day. So looking for a continuation of today's bounce tomorrow. We'll see, right? LTBR, this one's a little weird, but it had a huge 2-day run or day and a half run. And today just almost looked like it didn't trade, right? But such a narrow range that maybe this one pops tomorrow, especially if the market finds a bid. Don't love that one. And then lastly, I have OPHT, which has done nothing but grind lower for a month straight. And today out of the blue, big volume spike, and I'm looking for a continuation of this bounce tomorrow, all right? That's it. Not in love with anything, but we'll play it by ear, and we'll watch for gappers in the morning as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.